Hi there, in today's video I'm going to go through some weird but surprisingly common things that learner drivers do that can make them fail their driving test. So if you're learning to drive or you have a test coming up, make sure that you watch this video. So the first thing is stopping at green lights. So what usually happens here is the light's green, the traffic is flowing, but for some reason the learner driver suddenly decides to stop for no reason. So why would this happen? So it could be because of nervousness or misjudging the traffic ahead or forgetting that the green light means go. And why would this be a fail? It'd be a fail because it stops the flow of traffic, it creates a hazard, and it shows a lack of understanding of basic traffic rules. So how can you avoid this? You just need to trust the green light. Unless it's unsafe to proceed, you just go if the light is green. So over sanitizing your driving or trying to drive too perfectly. So what happens here is that the learner keeps maybe touching the indicator unnecessarily or checking the mirrors constantly and driving in a really robotic manner or driving abnormally slow. So why does this happen? So it might happen because the learner drivers just memorized every rule, but they aren't really applying them. They're just doing what they remember. And why this would be a fail is because driving is about confidence and awareness, not just about following steps on a checklist. So how can you avoid this happening? You need to practice your driving smoothly. Examiner wants to see safety and competence, not just a robotic behaviour of someone that's memorised everything. Let's move on to holding the gear stick whilst turning. So what might happen here is instead of keeping both hands on the steering wheel, the learner might rest one hand on the gear stick during corners or on the roundabouts. So why would this happen? A lot of the time it's just anxiety or misunderstanding of the junction. And it would be a fail because it reduces control of the steering wheel, especially in critical moments like trying to steer around the roundabout. You need to have both of your hands on the wheel. And you can avoid this by making sure that you always return both of your hands to the steering wheel after changing your gear. Next, some learner drivers might keep looking down at their feet. So this might happen when they're changing gears, using the pedals, they glance down briefly at their feet. So they might be doing this because they're still unsure of their foot placement and they're panicking under the pressure of the driving test. Now this would be a fail because again you're taking your eyes off the road. Even just for a split second to do something like looking down at pedals is dangerous, and it also shows lack of awareness. So how can you avoid this? Make sure that you practice your pedal control until it feels like second nature. And next we have aim in the car like you're in a video game. So what happens here is the learner stares at the road markings and steers like they're aiming the car, often weaving slightly and not really driving in a straight line. So why does this happen? It could be because you're overly focused on staying exactly centred rather than reading the road and what's happening ahead of you. Now this is going to be a fail because it causes poor lane discipline and erratic positioning. So how can you avoid driving like this? Make sure that you look ahead and let your provisional vision guide your lane position. Trust your spatial awareness. So next, panicking at road signs. So what happens is a student might slam their brakes on at a give way sign even if it is clear, or completely miss the no entry sign. So this might happen due to overthinking or just having a mental overload leading to a poor reaction. Now this is going to be a fail because it's an unsafe hesitation or illegal manoeuvre. Both are automatic fails. You need to make sure that you're paying attention and you see where the no entry signs are and that you don't stop unnecessarily. How to avoid this? Stay calm, scan the road continuously and prepare. Make sure that you're prepared to stop if you need to at giveaway lines, or you just go if it is clear. Don't react at the last minute. Next, freezing up at the roundabouts. So what might happen is the road might be clear, it's your right of way, and then you just decide to stop and sit there. So this can happen due to fear of judgment, poor gap judgment, or just panicking because you're at this huge roundabout. So this is going to be a fail due to excessive hesitation, lack of confidence and disruption to the traffic. The roundabout is there to keep the traffic flowing, and you should only be stopping if there is cars approaching you to your right. So you can avoid this by practice reading the traffic flow, use your judgment, try and plan ahead and only commit when it's safe to do so. Next, touching your phone or the sat nav. So even if it's turned off, they might be instinctively tapping or touching the phone or moving it. So this might just happen due to muscle memory. You're used to checking your phone whilst you're driving, which is a really bad habit. And if you do this when you're on your driving test, most examiners may just stop the test. How can you avoid this? Remove your phone from your view and completely switch it off when you're driving. And this one here is very common, repeating the examiner's direction out loud, but then not following them. So what happens? So the examiner might say, at the next junction, I want you to take a left turn. And the student might say, turn left. And then at the junction, they go the wrong way and they turn right. So why would this happen? Student might be focusing on repeating rather than understanding and executing what they're meant to be doing. And why might this be a fail? It demonstrates a lack of attention and can lead to dangerous or incorrect actions. You can avoid this by making sure that you listen, process the instruction and focus on following it quietly. You don't need to say the instructions out loud. So remember, stay calm and avoid these bizarre but common mistakes. Your driving test isn't just about getting from A to B, it's about demonstrating safe, smooth and competent driving. So good luck with your test, and if you found this video useful or you have a driving test coming up, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click on the notifications and like this video. See you soon.